G'day, and welcome back to Minecraft. Tis Wild here, and today I'm having a quick test because, well, I've been running the Feed the Beast Magic World server with a friend and, well, a bunch of friends, and we've been having some issues. It seems with the latest update there's some problems with the Aqueous Accumulator. That's this little beastie down here. Now it seems to be gathering up the water quite fine, but we can see here running that it's not drawing the amount of water it used to. Now a little while ago you could have one of these feeding three of these engines. These are combustion engines here, but it just doesn't seem to be drawing in the same way. So what I've done is look at a setup that incorporates one accumulator per engine. Blocks around. They are sharing a block or two, but that shouldn't be an issue. The key point is that each one is next to a source block. We're running fuel in from our fuel tank directly to these four engines. We are using the additional BC pipes, so we are actually teleporting in the oil from way over there, as you can see on my minimap marker. So we're basically going to see how this is running. Now I'm using simple gates on here just to keep things running if there's fuel, although I suppose to do this test properly it should just be a redstone source and that's it. But that'll do, it's a bit neater this way. And it's the same over here. That's what I prefer to be running, just for testing purposes, to keep these all flowing. I've got this over here just so I'm not, well, flooding everything. So long as it'll get a redstone signal, as we can see, all the time. So it's just, yeah, a bit neater, more than anything else. I think these are set differently. If there's liquid in the tank, then it'll run. And there's going to always be liquid in that tank. So we should be right, I think. They're definitely running at max heat. I'm just concerned about this water fluctuation. It seems to be holding its own. I'm not sure. At the moment, it's slowly building up the fuel. And we've got more than enough oil coming in. These are just 5 by 5 by 5 tanks, just for the test. But really, the idea is to just stress test it, let it run for hours if need be. I'm not going to be recording this for hours, but this is just part one, I guess. What I might do is let this run for a few hours, and then I'll continue the recording and show you the result. And hopefully the result will be after, I don't know, 2 hours of running, 3 hours of running constantly. I think that should be a confirmed test. But yeah, little concerned because we had a very similar setup running over on our server. I went to bed last night at about midnight, logged in this morning at about 8 AM to have a look, and there was a giant crater where there used to be engines. And that was just with 2 engines running. So, and 1 refinery. I just thought I'd pop the other one on because, well, that'll give us a bit better throughput in regards to our fuel, which is really the plan. One of the things we want to do in our base is set up, we've got a max size oil tank. We're going to be feeding that, I think, with probably 2 wells. And we've got I think a 5 by 5 by max height, I think. It might be by 6 fuel tank. And the plan is that will run our base and the machines that we'll be using off it. We're also going to be using it to run combustion engines in the field. So we just take a quarry, a combustion engine. We run a few combustion engines in the base, and then I take a quarry out into the field and use these teleporting transport pipes to take the content back to the base and also to put the power out onto site. So we should just need basically 2 pipes in a quarry, and that should be basically it. So yes, now the boring part. I sit here and watch this for 2-3 hours and we'll see how it goes. Because I am a little concerned. This should just be functional and it's not. Well, it wasn't on the server, so I do not know. Because of the problems though we had with our quarry, with our aqueous accumulators, what we ended up doing was, I'll just go over here and show you. Was it that? Yes, it was that. We ended up having, I'll just get some gear. We need a pump. And we pop the water down. What we did, oops, is basically have our pump running just like that. Then we, what did we have? Oops. I believe we had it set up like this. And there seemed to be no problem. Yeah, but I don't know. One of the guys thought this would be actually a better setup than running these, but I think even so far, even though that's going down a little, it's still maintaining. So I don't know, but I am concerned. I really would have liked that to see it not come down at all. As you can see, it was at full when it was starting. It's dropped down a little and then a little more, and now it's feeding up, but it's still holding that point there. I don't know, a little concerned. Maybe in time this will drop down a bit further and a bit further, which means that, well, it's just not going to function correctly. Not in the long term anyway. I do not know. Let's get rid of these. So, I'm not entirely sure what to do here. Thus the test. End of the day, I actually find that spending a little bit of research time in a constructive world, a creative world, quite worthwhile, because we can basically myth bust a lot of these things. And who knows, maybe the nerf that was done to the aqueous accumulator will be changed. I am wondering about these inputs though, or outputs I guess. Don't think it has any difference. So yes, we're just going to basically sit here and figure out, see if that works. So if it does, this will be a nice little setup. And if you do want to copy it, I do recommend, of course, larger tanks. Much larger tanks. Because you can't go too small. Sorry, you can go too small. But a larger tank is always more worthwhile. Now I'm just running this, the fuel, output to here. It's going underneath all of these. So that way I've got a source block available here on each side. It comes up into the middle. Just jump up. And feeds directly. Just change the time. I've got simple gates on here, nothing spectacular at this stage. and that feeds directly through wooden conductive to gold conductive directly to the refinery. The refinery seems to be running very well. And of course you can change these to normal gates as well. So everything should be running, everything should be fine. Output of the oil directly into the refineries, fuel directly down into here. I could actually feed back here into here, but I thought it would be, well, a little bit more prudent to do it this way. That way I can separate it all. And of course, if you're going to use this in a real setup, you'd throw in another few, what are they called? Valves, that's it. Throw in a couple more valves on the other sides. You can also do the same with your oil if you wanted to. You just throw in another valve over here and do the same thing with your teleporty transport pipe. And then you can just grab two wells that are out there, two oil wells, and just ensure that your oil is always up to date. You don't also have to use the fuel only. You can use the oil, especially if you've got a very large tank and it's full. But to be honest, this sort of setup should give you a very decent amount of fuel. Not sure how many it would allow if it was shared, but yes, even so, even so. And the great thing about this is that you can set up just one single and throw on an output with the teleport pipe and have multiple pipes running off it. So there's that as well. In fact, I don't even need to do multiple inputs. I can just, because of this teleport pipe, I can do a send and receive at frequency 100, find another location, another pump, and just set that as send only at 100, and then both will actually come down into here. Ooh, that's stopped. Oh, that's not good. Tell you what, let's just go check out our location. Pretty sure there was more than enough being pumped through, and it might just be a glitch with the pump not showing. Now, mind you, it didn't look like it was filling up much either. Okay, here's our pump. Oh, yes, that does not look like there's much in there. Let's just go down and have a look. Whee! Oh my goodness, it's now empty. Well, it's done a very good job. And yeah, that was a full environment. So, well, let's go for a bit of an explore, shall we? Go find ourselves a new location. Just get out of here. Get rid of all of this. Our teleport tether. Yeah, a tiny bit left. Okay, so somewhere. Let's go in this direction. See what we can find. Just got to keep the oil pumping. So we'll just zoom around. Keep an eye on our mini-map. Any black splodges coming up? Ooh, look, a dungeon. Pretty much running mostly standard Magic World add-on or mod pack for Feed the Beast. But we do have a few other things running. We've got portal guns and we've got the Enchanting Plus mod. We've got the updated thermal expansion, which I should actually take a look at. But we've also got, the big one for us is the additional Buildcraft pipes. That gives us another option for doing world anchors using the teleport tether, which is a lot easier to build. 8 iron and a piece of lappy, as far as I can remember, and that's it. So much nicer resource-wise. Seems that we have some difficulty on our server running into Enderman for some reason. And we haven't been playing for too long, so we're not at the point of going into the end and building a farm there or something. Do love all these extra biomes. We'll just zoom around. How far away is that? Pretty close, actually. No oil. Well, we'll just keep zooming. Oh, is that? No, just a lighting bug. Oh, no, we've got some oil here. Well, that'll do. There's our little gusher. Okay, so let's take a look. What we need is an empty bucket. So we can take away some of these source blocks. So we can get to the actual well. I believe that middle point there. Yes? No? Where is it? Somewhere around here. Ah, no, there it is. This one, that one. Okay. So let's just fly straight up. It's that one there. How strange. Okay. Now, what we want to do is throw down a redstone, pop that next to it, get rid of that again, drop that. We'll need a redstone torch or 10, and then we'll also need our transport pipe, which is called a phased. So we want a phased waterproof. What else do we want to do? Pop that there. That'll do. So another one of those, another one of those, and I'll pop one up on the top as well, because you just can't have enough. So, okay. That will activate those two, that one and this one. And on this side, we'll need a phased one. We'll also need a waterproof one to output, I believe. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it's the case. So, redstone, waterproof. Where are we? Transport. Oh, look, I'm just going to go wooden. Ooh. That will do us. So we'll drop that down there, and then we'll drop this one here. And now on that we go 100. Number of outputs is correct. And that should be fine. Just change our time back. and we will set a new waypoint. Well, I suppose we can remove that one and add pump 1. There we go. Oh, a bit high. Now, with luck, that should be it. Not sure how big that is. I should go have a look, but this will do for our test. Oh, the other mod that I'm running is Optifine, which does help quite a lot. I've got pretty much everything set up to maximum. I'm still getting a very good frame rate, including running Bandicam. Ooh. So let's head on back. It's been running for a bit now. And that's still going down. I wonder, do I need number of outputs? 0. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Maybe it's because I set this one to public. Just can't see anything coming in there. Oh, there we go. I think. What's going on? Let's take a look at our engine. Yeah, it's pretty stable. Still prefer it just to jump up that bit quicker. Wondering if I could like go overkill and put in 2 aqueous. I like overkill. Overkill is good. Yeah, that looks like it's certainly coming over. It's just taking its sweet merry time to get pumped. I guess those red-state engines do take a bit of time to speed up. That's still rising, which is excellent. So far, I'm thinking I'm quietly confident that this setup is a good setup. It's fairly self-contained. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 5. It's only a few down. One thing I don't know, in fact, let's do one test. Let's grab we want a bucket of water. Oops, learn how to type. And what we'll do is fall in the water. No. Get rid of that source block. And down the bottom here, we'll pop one in there as well. I'm not sure whether or not one on the bottom actually is viable. Oops, that'll do. According to the wiki that I read a little while ago anyway, it didn't matter if there was one on the bottom. But hey, look, let's try it. And we'll see if this one functions any better. Look at the speed of that one go up. And what about this one? About the same, isn't it? Even with that additional source block. So it doesn't appear that that bottom source block is much of a factor. Just concerned about that. I'm quite confident this is going to work. And if we also add in our gates to say if we've entered, ensure that we're in a green state, and if we're not in a green state, then shut down, we should be absolutely fine. So, yeah, I think we're good. I'm going to call this a functional test, I guess. Well, it's a functional test. I think it's a functional result. I don't think the plan to use the pumps for water supply is effective, but this looks good. My goodness, you are slow. Well, I suppose it is rising. So yes, this is the processing environment that we're going to be using in our base, and hopefully, hopefully, it's stable. And I'm confident that it will be. I think what we'll end up doing ourselves, as I said, is we'll pop in 2 more valves and we'll put those at different frequencies. One frequency could be to run our base engines, and the other one will be for our quarry engines. So that way we can separate them, turn them off as needed. And maybe even prioritize them. We could actually share one and make one private, but yeah, there's only a few of us on the server. There's about 6 in total. Alright, I'll sign off for now, and I will call this a confident success, but I will run it for the next, 5 hours or so, and I might actually run this overnight tonight and just let it go for 8-10 hours. And in the morning, if it is all explodey, well, I'll update, show you a short video of the carnage that these engines gave. So, yes, I do highly recommend you go check out the Feed the Beast Minecraft mods. There's quite a few to have a look at. There's a retro one, there's the current one, which is one works to Microsoft. What am I saying? Works to Minecraft 1.4.2. They are hoping to update that, but at this stage we're all waiting. But I'm using the Magic Pack, which is 1.4.5, which is quite lovely. Adds all sorts of cool things. Not as much in the way of the Buildcraft expansions. You don't have IC, you don't have GregTech and all those craziness. But yeah, we've found actually just by adding in even just the additional pipes, to be honest, just that alone was a big thing. That gave us a lot more options. So for now, I'll call it quits, and I might actually go off into another corner and have a play with the new thermal expansion and take a look at the new stuff in there. Liquiducts. Who knows, maybe there's a solution to our water issue and supply problem there. That is looking good. I just wish it was full again. That's my biggest concern. Yeah, anyway. So, have fun all, and as always, keep on Minecrafting.